you a health professional that's a little bit overwhelmed or just unsure about the whole digital marketing landscape and what you need to actually be doing to attract new patients to your practice through the different online marketing channels? Well, you're definitely not alone. So in this video, I wanted to give you 7 simple digital marketing strategies that you need to know about and can consider when trying to acquire new patients from online sources. So who am I? I'm Ellie, the owner of Splice Marketing, a healthcare marketing agency. We've got an incredible team here right up in Brisbane who service and support the whole healthcare sector to grow and market their businesses. And just like I'm explaining today, help acquire new patients through digital marketing activities. So let's get into it. I'm going to share 7 different strategies like I mentioned. So I want to talk about SEO, social media, having a really good high converting website, email marketing activities, paid search, content marketing, and then most importantly, analytics and tracking so that you can make sure all your hard work is paying off and you can actually know what's working more effectively than the other channels that might not be performing as well. So let's start with SEO. So SEO stands for search engine optimization and basically refers to the process of getting your website ranking high in a Google search result. So why this is important is because when your patients type in, ophthalmologist near me or general practitioner in North Lakes or, gynecologist in Canberra or, somewhere like that, they're typing in these search results because they're ready to find you. They're ready to find someone that's offering your type of services. So SEO is all of those websites that start to show in those first few results across Google once that search term has been entered. And there are multiple different ranking factors that help a website get right up the top when someone searches. So I'm not going to go into it in too much detail because there's over 200 ranking factors or something crazy like that. So a few that you can implement to help your website get that boost and start ranking high in a Google search result is to start with what we call a Google My Business page. So this is actually a free product or a free tool that Google offers for local businesses. And it is definitely one that any single health professional with a local business wants to actually have and be on a Google My Business listing. So it's quite easy. All you need to do is, funnily enough, Google My Business, and then follow the prompts to set up your business details. And then after that, you'll have that little knowledge panel that appears on the right in a Google search result. Your business will be listed there. And it just makes it really easy for your patients to find your information, click through to your website, find your contact details, and where you are located. So definitely secure your Google My Business page. It is a very, very, very effective and fantastic tool. So with SEO, like I said, there are so many other ranking factors. So what you can do is make sure that your website is listing all the different services that you offer and has some really good quality content explaining what those services are. Or it could even be the conditions that you treat. So making sure that you're explaining, what the condition is, what some of the symptoms could be, what some of the treatment options are, and then even listing who the doctors are in your practice that can help treat that condition or support or help out a patient who may be suffering from that condition. Or, on the other hand, it could be that, who's offering these services within your practice. So making sure that you've got that on your website is really going to help you get ahead of the game and acquire more patients through SEO activities. But not only that, and this kind of moves us into the second one, which is websites. You want to make sure that your website is putting your best foot forward. So your website is your practice online. So you want to be proud. You want to make it have the same feeling as if a patient was walking into your consult rooms for the very first time. So make it reflect the look and feel of your physical practice. Your website should have that kind of similarity so that it is a consistent experience for the patient, whether they're meeting you online for the first time or they're coming into your consult rooms. So with your website, I've talked about the pages, but it's also important to make sure that it's loading fast. And this also impacts your SEO results, because the faster your website loads, it can contribute to a higher ranking score with some other factors, but it definitely does make an impact. So you can run your URL, your website URL, through a Google Site Speed Test. And again, all you need to do is search for Google Site Speed Test, and I'm sure something will pop up and you can put your URL into that and measure how effective that is for you. Now, if you get a fairly good result, normally it scores like an A, B, C, D, or E. If you get an A or a B, that's a good result. If you get C or D, you might want to talk to your website developer or contact us at Splice to help you boost that ranking, or the site speed, I should say. So definitely just check that one out. And then the final part that I want to focus on with SEO, and it also impacts like a high performing website, is to make sure you have that know, like, trust factor on your site. So what you can do is list your doctors, have their photos there, their information, their bios, and just, that builds that trust factor. It builds that relationship online with your online patients. Because if I'm looking for a medical specialist, I've got that fear, I've got that anxiety around whatever I've just been diagnosed with, or potentially, something's wrong with me. So I want to see the smiley doctor on the other end of my screen, and their credentials, so that I feel reassured that they are the right doctor for me. So make sure that you've got all of your doctors listed and their bios on your website. It's a really, really, really effective tool. So also with high converting websites, I'm kind of shifting now from SEO to websites. It's important to make it really easy for people to contact you. And I know that sounds super, super obvious, but an online booking system, so integrating your practice management software with online booking through your website, is a really, really important strategy, because people search for health professionals at any time, day or night. And so if you have an online booking system, they can just book in for a meeting with you and you've acquired a new lead. If you don't have an online booking system, then you're making your patient wait till your practice opens the next day to call you. And most likely they've moved on and they've started to search someone where they can easily book online. So make sure that if you can, embed your booking system through your website. If not, and even if you can have your booking system online, make sure that all of your phone numbers on your website are hyperlinked, so that if someone wants to call you from their mobile device, all they need to do is click on the mobile number and it will call straight through. So they're just some effective strategies, some little quick wins, I guess you could call them, to make sure that your website is converting more patients. And by converting, I mean, making sure that someone can easily click and call you from an online channel through to your physical practice and your reception team. So you want to make sure that your website is converting those patients for you. And they are some of the strategies that you can use to make sure that that happens. All right, let's move on to email marketing. So if you're an established practice, no doubt you've got a patient email list. This is such an effective and incredibly underutilized tool, I would say, is your database and email marketing. Email marketing generates what we believe is the best return on investment. So, it's quite cheap, it's quite cost effective to actually email your patients. They already know who you are, they've already built that know, like, trust factor. So, if I send out an email and say, it's Cancer Awareness Month, we'd like to encourage, or, we want our patients to come in and get a test, or we're offering free screenings, or whatever it might be. And all of a sudden you've got 10 private patients coming into your clinic and you've hardly paid a cent to email them to let them know. That is a really effective marketing tool that you can use. So make sure that you are utilizing your email database and email marketing. So look at the National Health Events calendar, have a look at what's coming up and what relates to your practice, and send out those invites to your patients, or, that awareness piece to your patients to say, this is coming up. If you have concerns, book in and come and see us and let's have a conversation. So also segmenting your email marketing list can be another really great way to reactivate past clients. So if you've got clients who haven't come in for, maybe 8, 10, 12 months, whatever it might be, you might want to segment them and create a new list just of those clients or those patients. Then you can email them and start to, provide them educational content and warm them up and remind them that you're there. And, when they need your care again, they're most likely going to come back to you because you've been front of mind for them, because you've been offering really great content right in their inbox. It is such a really effective tool. So that's email marketing. If you don't have an established database, then one way that you can grow your database is to create a really good educational resource. So whether that's like a patient information book or a video similar to this one, make sure that a patient gives you their email address in exchange for that ebook or that watching that video. And then that will allow you to start building up your email list. Now, it's important that when you are collecting emails that you are letting the patient know that you'll be communicating to them with marketing content and that they consent to opting in to receive that marketing content. But not only that, you want to make sure that that information for the patient is being stored somewhere secure. So they're just some other factors to consider, but that is one strategy that you can use to build your database if you haven't yet got that email list. And if you haven't yet got your email list, definitely start these activities the sooner rather than later, because like I said, email marketing is a very cost-effective return and really great return on investment down the track. So the more you can build now, the better your long-term marketing activities and return will be. So you can thank me later for that one. All right, paid search. So hopefully you're still with me, but I hope you're scribbling frantically in your notebooks or typing away on your computer, because these are some really great strategies that I'm, offering you and, definitely move the needle when it comes to acquiring more new patients to your practice. Paid search. So paid search refers to Google ads mainly, and Google ads are those paid ads that appear right at the top of a Google search result. So you actually pay Google for someone to click on your ad to come through to your website. And I know it sounds very similar to what I was talking about in the SEO component, but SEO can take a while to get your website in those top few ranking positions. So it could take 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. It really does depend. So while you're waiting to get that top few spots on Google or those top few spots on Google, you want to start running Google ads. And you can set a budget of $10, $20, $30 a day. Typically $20 a day is a good starting point because it means that you can acquire more patients. So again, going back to the scenario that I was explaining with the SEO, if I'm looking for a gynecologist in Canberra or, a doctor in North Lakes, then if you've got a Google ad, your result will appear straight up for me in an ad format. I will click on that and there I am at your website booking in to see you. So Google ads are a really good tool. Now, Google does offer a $100 free credit at the time of this recording. Who knows? They always change it up. So you can, if you're a new starter, get that $100 credit, set up a really basic campaign on your own and start testing Google ads. However, you do want to make sure that you are getting the best return on investment from your Google Ads activity. So if you can afford it, and when you can afford it, it is really important to engage a company like Splice Marketing, who have the expertise in-house to set up a really effective campaign for you on Google Ads that is going to get you the return. And a dedicated PPC specialist like what we offer here at Splice that is going to be in your account and optimizing and making sure that you are getting clicks that result in a new patient booking. So that's paid search. Content. So content is king, they say, and I truly believe that. In healthcare, marketing is done through education. You are the experts, you are the doctors. You know what information needs to be shared with the patient. So as soon as you can start writing content for your patient that answers their frequently asked questions, the better. So if you just have a think, even if you just sit down now or sit down after this call and after this video, I should say, and you list all of the different questions that you get asked every other day by your patients. So just put yourself and reflect back on the recent consults you have and list all of those questions that you've been asked. And then that's where you can start. You can start writing answers to all of those questions. If you are okay in front of video, record the answers. It's even better. Or if you're not that comfortable, feel free to write it down and turn that into a blog. So that article will then be published to the blog section of your website. You can then repurpose that one blog by taking a snippet of it and sharing it on social media with a graphic and driving people back to your website. And the reason we're driving people back to your website is because all the information about you and your doctors and your services is on your website, which means that they're more likely to then book in for a consult if and when they need you. So get writing, get the content up there. And there's many different forms of content as well. I did mention video. So if you are able to do video, I strongly recommend uploading it into YouTube and then also embedding it into your website on a blog page, transcribing it if you want to and making that a blog. And then again, sharing snippets of that blog or that video out onto your social media channels to get in front of your patients and drive them back to your website. So content marketing is super important. And you also want to make sure that when you're writing content, you're also considering all the different services that you're offering and all the conditions that you're offering or treating, I should say, and writing about those, because that just strengthens your overall website and the overall information that you are offering to your patients. So get writing as well. It definitely is an effective strategy. All right, so I've rattled off quite a few. We've done SEO, social media, your website, email marketing, paid search, content marketing, social media. I didn't really cover off that one too much, so let's quickly jump into that. So social media is where you can build your communities and where you can educate your patients. There are so many different cohorts of patients on the various social media channels. So the ones that we're seeing working most effectively is still surprisingly Facebook. It's a really great place to actually put content, but it has become a pay-to-play platform, which basically means that when you publish a post up on your Facebook page, your business Facebook page, you want to then boost it for at least $5 and to people in your local area that might be interested in that content. So it could be females, it could be a particular age range, it could target a specific interest. It just means that your content will actually be seen by more people. If you just publish it to your Facebook page and you don't have many followers, you're hardly going to see any engagement or viewership on that post. So boosting it just gives you that little bit of a leg up and gets your content in front of more people. So that's Facebook. Instagram is working really effectively for healthcare businesses at the moment. People love the behind the scenes content. They want to see, your chiropractors in action. They want to see, the smiley gynecologist. They want to see the reception team. So make sure you're taking those photos and uploading them to Instagram. Hashtags are how you grow and be found in Instagram. So make sure that you're putting relevant hashtags. And by hashtags, it could mean like hashtag North Lakes, hashtag business type, hashtag conditions that you treat. So it just really does help your content get that leg up again and just be seen by more people. But as well as posts, if you're into videos and you can do videos and you're open to videos, record quick snippets, opening the door in the morning or having a coffee or shaking hands or prepping the, treatment room for the next client that comes in, and upload that into your reels or to your Instagram stories, because people love video content and it's just going to help build that community around your brand. Make sure that you continue to build that know, like, trust factor. And it is a really effective way to go, you know what, we're human, you're human, and build that connection with someone. And again, with all of this, linking back to your website or referring to your business name helps build that awareness and that lead generation of bringing people from the social media channel, leading them through to your website, which then obviously can link to a booking down the track or at that time. So that's social media. I know I haven't really touched on it in too much detail. Something that I will say though on social media is APRA, and that is obviously really important to consider if you are covered under APRA as a health professional, which majority of you are. And there's a lot of different areas involved with that you just need to be careful of, such as testimonials, feedback on posts. So we do have a resource here at Splice Marketing that helps you with your social media activities and making sure you're compliant. So at the bottom of this video, I will share a link to that specific resource if you want to read more about compliance and social media. All right, so you've got all this work happening online. Everything's moving. You've got content going out regularly onto your website. You've got it being shared on social media. It's helping boost your SEO. Your website has the booking button. It's easy for people to call. You're sending emails to your patient databases, letting them know about any updates in the practice, or, all the different health events that are happening and the different services that you might be offering in relation to that health event. And you've got your Google ads bringing in new patients. Winning combination. And I know it does sound like a lot, but definitely it just take one piece at a time if you're not ready to do it all. So you want to make sure that all of that is tracking correctly. So it is worth engaging, again, a marketing agency like Splice to set up your Google Analytics page and track every single one of those channels and all of those activities. Because once that's set up and you've been educated, which is what we offer here at Splice as well, you've been educated on what to look for, you'll know if social media is bringing more patients to you than perhaps, your paid searches, or, your content marketing. You might have 100 people looking at your blogs every month. So that might say, all right, well, we need to write more content or more blogs for you then. So having that analytics and tracking everything really does take the guesswork out of what's working for me in terms of marketing and what's getting me the patients, what's not, where do I focus my energy. So, whether you're starting out, get the analytics set up from the start. If you've been going for ages and you're growing your practice, then, even just making sure or having second set of eyeballs look over your analytics and making sure everything is tracking correctly can really, really help you take the guesswork out of the marketing, like I said, and know what's working for you. So I've covered a lot. I know that. And I just wanted to, touch on all of those different moving parts when it comes to digital marketing, because everything I've mentioned is how you're going to acquire more patients into your practice. I hope it was informative. I hope you got a lot out of it. If you do want to know more information, feel free to head through to the Splice Marketing website. Our blog section, our resource section is packed full of more educational information just like this. Quick tips, checklists, videos, blogs, you name it. It's all there to support you, the health professional. And you can always book in for a free 30-minute session with me if you wanted to go over anything in more detail. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon or talk to you soon. All the best and good luck growing your practice.